Good morning, class. So today we'll be talking of foundations of cybersecurity. So before we can go deep into cybersecurity, we have to know the foundations of cybersecurity. So first of all, what is cybersecurity? So cybersecurity is the practice of protecting computer systems, network devices, and data from digital attacks, unauthorized access, damage, or theft. So let's say cybersecurity, or let's take cybersecurity to be like our home. So in our home we have locks and keys. So some people go as far as getting security cameras, getting alarm, even dogs in the home, in their houses for security purposes. So cybersecurity, when it comes to the digital world, the tech world, is the security, or is the cyber is our digital security. So like I said, it's a practice of protecting computer systems, network devices, and data from digital attacks and unauthorized access to our systems. Now we'll move to job roles and careers in cybersecurity. So the first job role we have here is there are a lot of job roles in cybersecurity, but these are the top ones. So the first we have here is SOC analyst. So a SOC analyst simply means security operations center analyst. So what is their job? So what they do is that they centralized facility or team that monitors, detects, analyzes, and responds to cybersecurity incidents on an ongoing basis. Think of it as the nerve system for an organization's security operations. And then what they do, basically they monitor the system 24 hours, they detect threats, they respond to incidents, they gather and analyze information about emerging threats. They do a lot of things. So the next one we have is penetration testers. So under the penetration tester, we have the white hat, the black hat, and the gray hat. So basically the white hat, they are the good guys, the ethical hackers. So they get authorized access, or they get permissions from organizations to get into their system, into their network, and then monitor it. So when monitoring, if they detect any fraudulent or malicious activity going on, they have the authority to actually stop or block any attack from happening. So that is why they are called the white hackers, because they were giving authority, they were giving authorization into the company or into your personal system. Now we have the black hats. So the black hats is just the opposite of the white hats. So they are the bad guys. You understand? So the difference between the white hats, black hats, and gray hats is basically the ethics. So the black hats, they don't need your authorization before they hack into your system. So they hack into company systems, they hack into servers, they get informations, and then when they do that, they use it for malicious activities. They can send ransomware to a company's organizational system. Thereby, they will encrypt your files and then ask for funds before they can decrypt those files. So, and then we have the gray hat. So the gray hat, they are just in between. They are not bad and they are not good, in the sense that they don't get authority, they don't get authorized access they don't get the permission from you to hack into your system. So they hack into your system, detect any malicious activity, and then send you an alert, or send an alert to you telling you that, oh, this is what is about to happen, or this is what is happening in your company. And some of them in return, they ask for pay. They ask you to pay them for their job. Why some they don't do that. Now, why is it bad? It is bad because they did not get your permission. They didn't get to seek permission from you before they hack into your system. And when it comes to tech world or in cybersecurity, whoever penetrates into someone's server, into someone's computer system without authorization, it's a crime. So that is why the gray hats, we said they are not good, they are not bad, they are just in between. Though they have good intentions, but the way or the process whereby they carry out the intention is actually the wrong way. So nobody should penetrate or should hack into someone's computer. Even if you have good intentions, don't hack into someone's system without their authorization. Now we'll move to the next one, which is the digital forensics. So what they basically do is that they investigate cyber incidents after they occur. So they get into the system or into the organization that the attack has happened, and then collect digital evidence. Just like, I don't know if most of us have seen sci-fi movies. Yeah, whenever a crime happens, you can see that they will block or they will lock out that particular environment, and then you see investigators like forensic investigators coming over to gather information, to gather evidence. So that is basically what digital forensic does in the cyber world. And then we have security engineers. So basically they build and secure system, set up firewalls, IDS, and security control. So what is firewalls? So firewalls are just like the security of any database. They know who to let in and who not to let out. So they control the outgoing and incoming let's say information, or the incoming and outgoing of unauthorized or authorized individuals into database. And then we have the IDS. IDS means intrusion detection system. So basically what they do is they detect any malicious activity or any malicious activities, fraudulent activities going on in an organizational system. So once they detect, they send an alert to the organization that this is what is happening to your organization and this is what you should do. So they don't act. The only thing they do is that they detect and then send information to the send an alert to the company or to the organization, or they send it to the IPS, which is an intrusion prevention system. So the IPS now is the ability to now prevent that attack from happening. Then we have security control as well. Now we have the red teamers. So basically the red teamer, they simulate reward attacks and identify vulnerabilities in its defenses. So red teamers, organizations hire them to like act like the hackers, to think like the hackers. Now what will the hackers do? If I were to be the hacker, what am I going to do? How am I going to hack into these systems? What am I looking for in this organization? So that is what the red teamers do. They think like the hackers. So by the time they think and then get scenarios, now they send real-world attack to a server. Remember, the company hired them to test. So they don't do it unauthorized. They were authorized to do that. So by the time the company by the time the red teamers send this reward attack to the company server, now they know what the server can withstand, and then they know what to do to actually make the server or the organization more security tight and the rest. So that is the work of the red teamers. Now we move to the CIA triad. So CIA triad is a conceptual framework that ensures systems protect data, maintaining the data, and make sure that the data is available when needed. So the C in the CIA stands for confidentiality. Only authorized people have access to documents and data. Just see it like you and your doctor, your personal doctors. You go out to like meet, you run your test, and then your file is there. So it's whatever that happens or whatever your health situation is should be between you and your doctor. No other third party should have access to that except you authorize it. So that is confidentiality. So the CIA triad, under the C, we have the confidentiality. So it uses encryption and access control. So now let me show you what encryption basically means. So the meaning of encryption is converting plain text into cipher note or cipher text. So everybody, you go to your web browser and then type crypty.com. So this is how it basically looks like. So it gives us an idea of what an encryption is. Now we have the encode and the decode. So this encode, it helps us to like encrypt our file. The decode helps us to decrypt our files. Now what we'll be basically using, or what is basically the most famous what I call it editor that is being used is Caesar Cipher. So everybody, you can see this place, the place where we have the Enigma machine. So you click on it, then you see your Caesar Cipher here, then tap on that, automatically it changes. So now let me explain this. So in Caesar Cipher, it deals with our normal alphabet A to Z. Now it counts in 7 places forward. Now you can actually reduce the size or increase the size, but basically the one famous or the format we basically use is the 7 format. So it helps you, it helps you encrypt your file in 7 places. So let's take this for example. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So we have the, which stands with the letter T. So we have T, then we look for where T is over here, and then we start counting. Remember, when counting, you don't count from the letter you're starting from. You don't count from there. You move to the next letter. So we have our letter T. We move to U. So U stands for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see. So if you're counting and then you get to Z, and then the Z is not the number 7, you go over again and start from A. Continue your counting. So you can see it. So if I change this now to I love cybersecurity. So if you change this to I love cybersecurity, now let's count. Starting from our I, we move to J. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see our 7 is P, and then you can see the P. Love, L. So move to our letter L, and then start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see that our L stands for our 7 falls under S. So basically this is what our encoding and decoding means. So basically when you're encoding, if you can remember on your WhatsApp, when you want to type, they'll show you, you see a text written up that end-to-end encryption. So what it basically means is, as you're typing, once you're done and you're sending the message, as the message is passing through or going through the system, the server system, to the person you sent the message to, is encrypted. Nobody knows the context of what you typed until it gets to the person's address, that is the person's MAC address or IP address, the person you're sending the message to. By the time it gets to the person, automatically it decrypts, and then the person gets the message. So that is it. Now let's go back to, then the access control is limiting the number of people that have access to the database or to the server. Like in a company, it cannot be everybody that will have access to their server. So you can have maybe the CEO, the HR department, and then the IT section can have access to the database of the organization. Now we move to the next one, which is integrity, making sure that data isn't tampered with. Just imagine, okay, let me still use your doctor and you and your doctor. So after your medical checkup, you know the contents of your file, you know what is written there, and then the next time you had your doctor's appointment, you went, and then your file was given to you. Going through your file, you notice that something is changed, like your file, your health history was tampered with. That is lack of integrity. So you can't trust that healthcare facility anymore, because before you left the organization during your last visit, you knew what was the content of your file. Now coming for your next visit, you notice that some things were being tampered with, and all that's lack of integrity. So integrity simply means making sure that data isn't tampered with. So we have the hashing and digital signature. So what is hashing? Hashing in cybersecurity is a fixed length string of characters produced by a mathematical algorithm, which is the hash function, from input data of any side. It's like a unique digital fingerprint for data. So now let me show you example of that. So we'll go to string, everybody on your browser, string hash calculator. By the time you do that, it brings you to this place and then pick. Yes. So now this is what your browser is going to like. This is how it will look like. So in hashing we have the MD5, which you can see each of them has a fixed number. So basically now, before we use the MD5, but it was no longer secure, because you can see it has a limited fixed number. So basically what we use now is SH, that is SHA-5256 and SHA-512. That is basically what we use more often now. So now let me show you what I mean by fixed length string of characters. If I type I, you can see that the number is still fixed, but all the data was changed. All the data changed. You can see it's a mixture of numbers and alphabets as well. So if I include this L, you can see that everything still changes. If I put the love cybersecurity, so you can see as you're typing, all your information, the string or the hashing changes, but the number is still fixed. So right, even if I should remove this Y, it changes everything from beginning. If I remove this T, it changes everything. If I should add them back, it won't give me the same. It changes everything, but the number is still fixed. It's still static. So if the number is 20, the number doesn't change. Even if what you're writing is just one word, it's still fixed. If it's 1 million words, it's still fixed. But just know that once you change something, everything changes. That is why they use it in integrity, because if I have given you the hashing of what I wrote, and then it comes to you, and then what I wrote comes to you, and then you check the hashing and you notice that the hashing is not the same with the one I had before, it has been tampered with. So that is basically what integrity is about. Then we have this signature footprint. So the signature footprint, this basically means, like, you know, whenever you let me say you go to a beach and then you're stepping, like you're walking on the beach sand, and all, you can notice that your footprint remains. So that is that's basically what you mean by digital signature. Like your file path on a system or a server still, like, you still have a print of sorry about that, of the sites that you visited. And now we move to availability, which is for the A, keeping systems running when needed. So we have DDoS protection and backup servers. So DDoS protection, this is distributed denial of service. So basically what they do is they flood a system or a server with lots of traffic. It keeps sending traffic to a server until the server collapses. And then by the time your server collapses, nothing is protecting your database anymore. Now they can penetrate and get whatever they want to get. So once you have a DDoS protection, once that happens, it protects the server from that attack. And then every organization should also have a backup server, so that in case this crashes, you have something to, like, protect your server from, or you have something to back up your servers. Because definitely you can't be 100% safe from attacks, but at least you should be up to 90-something% safe. And then we should have backup plans in case this happens. We have something else to lean on. So that is an availability, making sure that the system or the server is available when needed. And then we have the NIST Cybersecurity Framework. So NIST Cybersecurity Framework is a US standard guide that protects organizations from cybersecurity risks. It is divided into 5 core functions. But for now, okay, I think recently they introduced 6, but the 6 which is governed, so but it's not really functional like that. So we still stick to the 5 core functions, which are identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Now identify, know your assets. As an organization, you have to know the assets you have. You can't protect what you don't know. Just like in my home, if I know what I have in my home, that is why I need to protect it from unauthorized assets. So every organization, every company should know their assets and then know how to protect. So by the time you know your assets, now you know how to protect it. If you have people's database, people's bios and the rest, you know the extent or the length you should go to protect those assets. So the next one we have protect, safeguarding your database using firewalls. Like I told you, firewalls are like security guards, like I said before. And then we'll move to detect, spot when something is off. If something is off in your system or in your server, you should know. So we have the SIM and the IDS. So SIM means security information and event management. So SIM is a platform that collects, analyze security data from across an organization's entire IT infrastructures, including their servers, network devices, applications, firewalls, antivirus systems, and many more. So that is the work of SIM. So it helps to protect, to analyze security, to analyze our security and all. So we have, and then we have the IDS. Like I said, it detects when there's a malicious activity going on in a system. The next one we have respond, contain the damage, incident response, patching and all. So patching basically means, in cybersecurity, patching refers to the process of updating software, operating systems, firewalls, or applications by applying fixed patches released by vendors to address security vulnerabilities, bugs, or performance issues. Now, if your system is unpatched, you are most likely to have cyber attacks. Attackers actively exploit vulnerabilities. They look for any system, any server that is vulnerable, and then they attack. But with patches helps us to like curtail those attacks. And then we have security patch, the types of patches. We have security patches, bug fixes, feature updates, fixes, and so on. And then we move to the next one, recover, get back to normal. So if let's say the attack or the attackers were successful, now you have to just recover what you've lost. If you can't, you've learned your lessons, you know how to protect your data, or yes, you know now the extent you should go in protecting your servers, your data. And then with that, we're done with today's class. See you in the next class.